Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Kean CASSIUS for IFLTV.
Why do you do that before you start every interview? You go, is it like, I've got him. I'm resurrecting my platform.
It weren't that bad. What, resurrecting your platform? Pipe down, son. It wasn't actually that bad getting hold of you this time. It took me 4 days. I didn't drive you mad too much. It was a bit of a yo-yo.
What about when I posted last night in the gym at the office and you go, wait, you're here? You're in the country?
I thought you was going to America.
I've been in America.
I thought you were going back to America.
I was in America. I just
He was
got
in
back
Africa as well at some point.
Frank was in Africa. Yeah, no, I was in America and got back yesterday, and I think I'm going back to America, trying to make the Ray Ford fight on Saturday, and then go straight to Riyadh for the snooker, Riyadh season World Masters of Snooker, of which you'll be at.
I'm going to come. Never been to snooker in my life. I'll come.
Good. And then ready for the big one, Knockout Chaos, Squeaky Bum Time. Great card as well. Seen it all announced in its fruition, and feeling good, mate. Great to see you after a great trip to Orlando and then New York, and now back with the OG.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the promo video. Yeah. I mean, do you have any idea? Oh, seriously, because I was genuinely interested in like how much that costs to put together. Like, it looks absolutely insane, but all of them do, to be fair.
Do you know what? I think there's always the perception that Saudi Arabia just have, you know, an unlimited pot of money and they just throw money at everything. But there is so much more of a strategic plan. There is very smart people involved, and it's so surreal. Like, when we did the Day of Reckoning card, I went to His Excellency's house, and all of this stuff is his brainchild, right? So everything you see in terms of the way that the promos are set, shot, the theme, right? So the zombie theme for Day of Reckoning. And when we was in Riyadh last time for the Day of Reckoning, we sat down and the promo for AJ against Wilder was Knockout Chaos, right? So, but he's so enthusiastic. So you sit down and he says, right, let me tell you about the promo and the idea for Joshua Wilder. And I'm like, right. And he says, Knockout Chaos. And I'm like, right, okay. And then he says, it is Street Fighter, the promo's going to be, you know, and they walk down the street and they bump into each other and they turn round and then it cuts into the game. And I'm thinking, what? I mean, firstly, how have you even come up with this idea? Secondly, and then, you know, his creative team's there and they're talking about how it's going to be shot and how much time they're needed. Obviously, Wilder gets beat and then it's Ngannou, Knockout Chaos, same strap applies. And once you see it come into fruition, I mean, it's like a full-blown Hollywood movie. You see how many people were on the set, like extras. I was laughing yesterday about when we did the Day of Reckoning, there was a bloke who was one of the extras who was my ashtray. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically, when I was on the desk smoking a cigar, there was a guy who actually auditioned for the role to stick his head through a hole in my desk and go and be the ashtray that I'd put my cigar into. Like, all these people are obviously actors, but on that particular promo, there was like hundreds of people on the street. It's unbelievable. And I said in an interview when I was in America with obviously more reputable channels, I said, I can't wait to get back out there. Because, and I'm not just saying that, one, I mean, the weather's fantastic, the hotels, the food, but the energy of what they're doing. Like, I know that when we're there, so much more is going to happen next week for the world of boxing. Obviously, we've got the 5x5, we've got to see how that plays out. Looks like an announcement, I think, on the Saturday after the show. Like, future fights. If AJ wins, does he fight Hrgovic? Does he fight the winner of Usyk Fury? What else is happening? What's happening for Riyadh season next year? When's the next snooker tournament? It's amazing. And the promo was just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Never seen anything like it. In fact, I think we've got one of the best content people in Alex Haynes, who's our head of content. He, who has been putting together some unbelievable promos for him recently. He's probably watching that going, "Oh, come on, guys, up the budget." But that's just next level shit.
How much of that is actually AI generated?
None of it.
What?
Well, no, I mean, other than obviously the computer stuff, but everything is shot in person. Like, did you see the Usyk Fury promo?
Hold on 1 second. Hello? Yeah, speaking. How you doing? Just picking this back up here. No, what it is...
I thought that was a wind-up. I thought because you picked up the phone mid-interview, I thought, what's he done here? He's got someone coming on. Is it the tattoo bloke? Is it Chisora or something? I don't know. What was it?
No, I'm having a dining table delivered today. Right. But they told me that they was going to ring me, and if I missed a call, then because I told them to give me an hour's notice, they've just rung me, and I had to answer it because they just told me the time that they were coming.
I can't imagine you on a dining table.
Oh, it's a lovely dining table, to be fair.
Imagine you on a dining table.
What do you think I do? Like sit on the street or something?
I just can't imagine you cooking dinner, or
I don't cook dinner, to be honest with you.
Getting a Deliveroo and sitting down on a dining table, going, "Oh, hello, I'm just going to enjoy my dinner." I can't imagine you doing that.
Well, where do you think people eat food then? Not just me, but just in general. Like where?
On your lap. I don't know.
I live on my own. I don't really cook, but that's about to change. Eddie, let's go back to quite an eventful 7 days, obviously, for yourself. Can we talk about Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few posts going about over the last sort of day or so. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think Ryan's behaviour is quite erratic, to be honest with you. And I don't know what's going. First of all, by the way, I really like the guy. I think he's, we get on really well. So I'm not going to say too much to knock him, but I do think his behaviour and his mannerisms at the press conference and just what I see on social media, and obviously last night with the what do you kids call it these days? The weed, the joint. I mean, I don't know what.
Mate, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, not a vape, you mean?
No. What? Have you seen the picture?
Yeah, I've seen the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it's called. I don't know. Doobie. I know.
The Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Kids don't do drugs.
No. Well, definitely don't. Yeah. And I think he just didn't seem himself at the presser, if I'm honest. I think that I've been around a lot of people and a lot of fighters that I've seen go through problems, and I've never been wrong when I've thought to myself, I think this person's got an issue here. And I think, there's a few particularly, and I don't think they'll mind me talking about it because, it's a valuable lesson. And one was Scott Fitzgerald, and another one was Ammo Williams, who, thankfully has come through the other side, has done brilliantly well. But I just noticed mannerisms around them, and this wasn't, Ammo, nothing to do with substance and stuff like that, but you just see something changing them mentally, emotionally in their behaviour. And I saw that in Ammo, and obviously I saw it in Scott, and they're both two different situations. And I think I see it in Ryan. And I do worry. I mean, forget the fight. I hope he makes the fight, but he really needs to get into training camp. And I'm worried about the people that he's got around. He's not even my responsibility, but what I saw in the last few days, and obviously what came last night, is erratic behaviour. And erratic behaviour stems from something. You don't just all of a sudden start doing. When have you ever seen him behave like this before? When have you ever seen him do that before? It's completely un-Ryan Garcia. So what is stemming that? And the other thing I'll say about and this is important actually for especially kids and athletes and everything, and this might not be very popular with some people, but I think that weed really is a bad idea. Like, I think people think that you can smoke weed and it's legal and everything, but I cannot understand for the life of me how you think it's okay to smoke weed all day when you wake up in the morning. Like, and I know that some people use it for therapeutic reasons. And by the way, this is only my opinion before anyone at home starts going, what's he talking about? This is my opinion. I've seen people start smoking weed and think, it's great, oh, this is great. And then next thing is something else. Next thing, it's MDMA. Next thing, it's coke. Next thing, it's... And I just think it's a dangerous, dangerous slope. And I'm not saying this about Ryan Garcia, but I just think in general, I don't think that putting that kind of stuff in your system away from the therapeutic side can ever be beneficial for your mind and your mindset and actually focusing on what you've got to achieve, especially as an athlete. And this isn't a knock on people that smoke weed, because whatever, it's your own, but I just do not believe that you can be 100% mentally laser focused, especially in a job like boxing, if you're doing that. And again, this is not on Ryan Garcia, this is just in general. So my advice to fighters out there who actually do smoke weed is, I think it's a terrible idea. I really do. And that's only my opinion as a 44-year-old balding fat man. But yeah, I do worry about Ryan Garcia's behaviour. I do. I know Demi does.
Have you ever tried it?
Weed? Yes. Yeah.
What, yesterday or
No, it's the only drug I've ever tried. And you can lie detect me on that. You know, I see some of your interviews going, oh, he's no, never ever. But I did used to smoke, not a lot, but yeah, like went to Amsterdam a couple of times. Oh no, actually, no, that was a hash cake, wasn't it? But they told me it might have had a bit of acid in it. Absolutely lost my marbles in Amsterdam once. Scared the life out of me. So I went into this bar in Amsterdam. I think I was about, I don't know, 20, yeah, early 20s. And I was with my mate Spence and Danny, as two of my best mates. And we was in Amsterdam, and I went into this bar or cafe or whatever it was, and it just said like cakes on the thing. And it had like this sort of, I think it was like Japanese writing, Chinese writing, I don't know what it was. Anyway, I went, can we get 3 of those cakes, please? And the guy went, oh no, just get one, and then just share it between you. And I went, no, well, just give us 3. And he went, seriously, don't have 3. And thank the Lord we didn't have 3. So I bought one of these cakes, and we just ate it, right? We went out for a Chinese. Mate, I've never laughed so much in my life. It's just people walking past, and it was uncontrollable laughter, right? Anyway, after that, went to some bar, and I've come out, I'm in the toilet, and I'm like it's almost like strobing, and I'm like, what? And the floor's going like this, and I'm like, and where I haven't done anything like that before, I think if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you just got to let it go, haven't you? You'd like, and just go with it. I'm like holding on to walls. Anyway, I've gone outside. Spence was waiting for me outside. Come out. I've gone up to him. I've grabbed him. He's turned around. He's gone to me. Oh, mate. I went, where's Danny? Went outside. Danny is just walking up and down like a zombie on the street. We were flying home that night. So anyway, we've gone to get a drink of water. I've got a drink of water there. As I'm going to get it, the water's going like this, up and down away from me. I can't even pick up the water. Get a cab to the station. Danny's throwing up in the front. Spencer next to me, he's going, oh. I went, what's the matter? He went, can you feel the fireworks going off inside you? I was like, no. And Danny's in the front telling me how bad the war is and all these houses are derelict. I get to the airport looking for my gate to check in. I've looked up at the screens, you know, the boarding gate. All of a sudden, this screen has sprouted 2 legs. It's come down, it's gone pop, 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 and it's landed on my shoulder. I'm like this. Mate, it's the most terrifying thing I've ever done. I've sat on the EasyJet flight home to Stansted. It took me about 2 days to get over it. From that day, never touched anything ever again. And that's my story for any kids out there. But it was quite funny. We do laugh about it at the time. But I don't like to be like out of control, you know? Like I'd go to a club and have a drink and like used to get hammered, but I don't even drink anymore. I don't even like getting hammered, like falling around and not being able.
I've never seen you like even socially smashed ever.
But I never got. You would have never seen me walking around like falling over and stuff like that. It's embarrassing. But I used to have a good drink, but not now. No interest.
You're an athlete.
No, but it makes me feel awful. But anyway, I don't know where we tangented off on my Amsterdam story, but yeah, drugs. Don't do them. You know, the thing is about drugs, this is what I'll tell you about cocaine, right? The problem with cocaine, this is why I've never ever, and I'll swear on anything, never touched it in my life. And one of the reasons that I've never touched it is because it becomes a norm. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people will just go out and do it. Like it's just a regular, it's like having a beer. And I don't want to be in a position where you've got to stop doing it, you know, or it becomes a thing. And again, nothing against people that do it. Everyone's got entitled to their own opinion, but not for me, mate. Never been a thing for me. And even when people around me were doing it all the time, I would always say, nah. And the night would change, you know. We'd turn up at 9, have a right laugh till about midnight, and then I'm just like basically on my own, thinking, what's going on here? Went to a club once in Mykonos. Oh, mate. Black coffee, you know that night? It's like a club night. It was the worst night. And the next day everyone's going, that was unbelievable, that club, wasn't it? I was thinking, I left. I went and got a chicken shawarma at 10:30. Terrible.
Okay.
Anyway.
Eddie,
I've got loads of knowledge I can give young people. I really have.
I don't doubt that. Obviously, the basis around this obviously was a.
We cut that bit. Because it went on for about 10
No,
minutes.
absolutely not. We're raw, mate. We're Eddie Hearn, brutally honest here. Obviously, the concern you have is about Ryan Garcia and his well-being and his health more so. But do you have a concern about that fight taking place with Haney?
I think when someone behaves like that, always. But look, it's April 20th. The guy's training, the guy's fit. If they can get him into camp, I think it's fine. But what you don't want to do is, like, the whole thing's wild. Like, you know, you need the right people around you. I can't stress how important it is because there are so many, and I don't think his relationship with Golden Boy is particularly tight. You know, who's his manager? He's got all these people around him, you know. Oh, Ryan, yeah, right. Like, you know, he's a celeb, isn't he? And I just think that world just, oh, Ryan, yeah, right. You know, turns up, he's got the flares on, you know. I mean, he's a good-looking boy, isn't he? Turns up, he's sitting on a throne, he's got women throwing petals over him. I'm watching this game, what on earth is going on here? And he's jumping up and down, jumping up and around. And then you've got Devin, who's just like the complete flip side. You know, Devin is everything you should be in a fighter. Completely dedicated to his craft. Mentally, completely tuned in on what he needs to do in his preparation, what he needs to do in the ring, what he needs to do in his career. And I just know that Devin's going to turn up 110% every time. And he will be concerned, Devin, because you're training really with thinking, is this guy actually going to make the fight? And I hope he does. I'm sure he will, but it is a concern, you know, for sure.
Do you know what? While you were talking for the last 5 minutes, I kept glaring because I'm pretty certain when I was here last time, that picture of you and Canelo wasn't there. It might have been somewhere else, but it definitely. What? That wasn't there last time.
It's never come down. I promise you. I've never. Even when he left me, it never came down.
What? Maybe you moved it. I don't know.
No, it's always been there. It's all. Even when we parted, we didn't even really part ways. But even when he took another fight with the PBC, I always kept my Canelo Alvarez picture up. So don't start saying that just because we might work together again, I popped him up in the back of a photo, an interview. I'm not that...
No, I'm not saying you did that. I'm just saying as soon as like the last week, maybe you got it out the drawer. I don't know.
No.
Is he coming home, Ed?
Look, I think I've seen... over the last couple of days, I've had so many people messaging me, oh, congrats getting Canelo back. No, not yet at all. I went to see Sal recently. We speak most days in the last couple of weeks. There's nothing agreed. There's nothing signed. But I think we've got a great chance of working with him again. It would be an honour. Like, I think the guy's an absolute legend as a fighter, as a human being. And I would love to do his fight in May and September and for the rest of his career, really. I think, I think he enjoys working with us, and hopefully we can make something happen for him in May.
Is there more options to Jaime Munguia? Did I get that right? Berlanga? Benavidez?
For Sal? Yeah, I mean, we can bring anybody to fight Sal. Look, the obvious fights to make through the platform are Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga is the WBA mandatory. Jaime Munguia is a brilliant fight. He's just stopped John Ryder. He's a young Mexican, very strong. I think that, and Benavidez, tremendous fight. And, I spoke to Samson Leskovich last night, and he said, you said that Canelo's never been offered a fight with Benavidez. I said, no. Benavidez was never part of the PBC plan that they presented to him. Fact. So, and it really baffles me. I find it very funny when people say, oh, Canelo's ducking. Like, I promise you, Canelo will fight anyone. Canelo fought Bivol at 175, right, which he probably shouldn't have done, and got well beaten. And he's desperate to fight him again. Desperate to fight him again as a massive underdog. He has no problem fighting Benavidez. In fact, that's the kind of fight that would excite him. But he had a plan with PBC that couldn't be completed. Not his fault. So now he's looking at his options, and he wants to fight in May. It's not going to be Benavidez, but Benavidez can happen in September. No problem. But, one of the problems, and I said this the other day in an interview with the PBC guys, is they won't let their fighters come and fight on it's so weird. So it's like, if you're with us, you have to fight our guys. And if you're not with us, we're not going to let our guys fight with you. But Benavidez is apparently so desperate for the fight. And, I like Samson a lot. And, Samson says, oh, we'll fight him for free. We'll, all this kind of general stuff. I said, look, if Canelo works with us, we'll make the fight with Benavidez. And he went, yes, no problem. Just give us the US TV on Amazon. I'm like, what? No, mate. If Canelo comes with us on DAZN, and DAZN are putting up the money for Munguia and Berlanga and all these people, DAZN are going to put up the money for Benavidez. What? Mate, you're a challenger. Do you want to fight the king? Or you just only if it works with your promoter? No. So hopefully we can have a relationship with Sal where we plan out his next 4 or 5 fights. And I believe that will include Munguia, Benavidez, Bivol, Berlanga, all these people. Look at the guy's resume. He'll fight anyone. And you know what he wants more than anything? Because I sat down and I spoke to him in person. He wants real fights. He wants wars. He wants people that come to fight. He was so pissed off with the Charlo fight, the last one. He's like, I hit him early on and he just survived for 12 rounds running around the ring. He said, I want people that come to fight me. And that's why Munguia is a great fight. Even Berlanga and, of course, Benavidez. These are people that will try and win. They're young fighters, undefeated fighters, that will give him no respect and try and walk him down and have a fight with him. That's what Sal wants. So if we can be a part of it, it would be an absolute honour.
You're optimistic, though?
I think we're front runners, but again, who knows? Like, he's going to talk to other people. I've always said, on a level playing field, he will choose us every time. But if he gets a great offer from someone else, he might do something else. But I think he knows we don't mess around. We don't deviate from plans. We don't tell porkies. We don't wait to pay people. We have funds, and we are ready.
I think we always kind of saw that situation of Canelo returning to you at some point in his career, whether it's at this stage. We knew that.
It's easy to say now, isn't it?
No, but I think
he's so smart. But listen, when he did a 3-fight, I said when he did a 3-fight deal, I said, who knows whether this is going to be a 1-fight deal or a 3-fight deal? Because boxing's full of people that don't deliver on promises. Full of people that don't deliver on promises. And we've always tried to be the one that does deliver on promises, and our reputation and our track record is second to none. And the reality is, all these people have to go elsewhere sometimes for the benefit of their career. Some choose to go elsewhere. They all either come back or they go, there's no one like you lot. Reality. Canelo Alvarez, he knows who the best promotional company is in the world. Devin Haney went, won undisputed, top rank, came back. There's so many other fighters. Even the fighters that have left, will say to me, oh, blimey, you lot are on another level. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your career. But I've got the pyjamas out. I've dusted them down just in case.
I knew you'd put that picture away.
Not the picture, the pyjamas. And they're ready. They're ready for Cinco de Mayo. Touch wood, fingers crossed.
Okay, right, in other news, how are we getting on with Conor Benn?
We're good, actually.
Yeah.
Conor was in yesterday. And from about 20 fighters that have called him out, we have really targeted 1, 2, 3. I think we're down to 4.
How many of those are potential pay-per-views?
In the UK, obviously, at some point in the next week, 2 weeks, we're going to get the decision on the appeal. If he wins the appeal, which we believe he will fight in the UK on pay-per-view. There you go.
So, out of those 4 names, you're telling me Conor Benn versus A, B, C and D are all pay-per-view fights?
Correct.
That's strong.
Correct.
I like the way Conor Benn is still going at it with Tank Davis, who's just announced a fight with Frank Martin.
Yeah. But Conor was frustrated because Conor really wanted to fight Gervonta. And I said, that's a really tough fight. But he's like, no, and he's bigger than Gervonta. And Gervonta's a pound-for-pound great fighter, but he really wants that fight. He really wants that fight, but he's not on the list of 4. And I'm not even going to tell you the list of 4, but that is what we're down to now. One is a huge, huge name. I mean, one of the greatest fighters of our generation. Another one is just a massive, massive stadium fight. Another one could be a fight for the world welterweight title, which is very, very encouraging. And the other one is a former 2-division world champion, big name. So Conor's going to be in a massive fight next, but we just have to wait until we decide whether it's going to be in America or whether it's going to be in the UK.
More of your emails getting leaked online. I suppose when you're writing these emails, you have it all in mind that this could be the case. But what do you think about kind of the gap between the 10 and the 25, which is why he was posting in the first place?
Well, I said he could make anywhere between 15 and 25 million. In fact, if the fight does 1 million buys, right, he would make $25 million. I don't think it does 1 million buys, but if it did, I don't know, 500,000 buys, he probably makes $20 million. But he doesn't. See, Tank, the problem is you've got so many people in your ear in boxing who just don't know what they're doing. Tank should be controlling his own business, having meetings with people and understanding the finances of how shows work, because he owns the revenue now in these shows, So just like Canelo Alvarez, just like AJ. He's that kind of star. But what happened is he just got people in his ear. Eddie Hearn, man, you don't fuck that guy. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. You can't trust Eddie Hearn. Oh, on what basis? On what basis can you not trust me? Speak to any fighter that we've worked with and get them to tell we haven't delivered, we never paid them, it just doesn't exist. But people will get in people's ears. So, and if he thinks he can beat Conor Benn, he should have had the conversation. But yes, you are correct. Every time you send him an email, you know there's a very good chance it's going up on Instagram. In fact, once he half stuck it on me on an Instagram DM, and I had to pipe up a little bit back just in case he posted it, even though I was shitting myself. I was going to go, I'm sorry, Gervonta, but I thought, no, he's just going to repost it. So I was like, oh, mate, listen, don't talk to me like that, geezer.
It's twice the size of him.
Yeah, but it'd still kill me.
Kind of Sauerland making some comments yesterday to say that potentially a fight there for Chris Eubank with Kell Brook. What's your thoughts on that?
I think they're just saying it because they're going to come round for the Conor Benn fight.
What?
Why would you fight Kell Brook for less than half of the money that you'd get to fight Conor Benn? Makes absolutely no sense.
I think Janibek was also in...
Oh, mate, as if they're going to fight Janibek for a fifth of the money that they'd get to fight Conor Benn. What? A Kazakh middleweight who's an absolute huge 160-pound beast versus a 147-pounder that apparently can't knock anyone out anymore. I mean, I actually nearly messaged Eubank this morning because I was driving and I was like, because I was thinking, all being well with the appeal, we would be able to go to Conor Benn, to Chris Eubank and say, May, June, Wembley Stadium, Spurs, wherever, mate, it's right in front of you. And I was actually thinking, how mad is it? This is another example of people that either get poor advice or have people around them that they... And by the way, that's not Calla, because Calla knows this is the fight to make. Calla must be smashing his head against a wall every day, speaking to Eubank, going, I just can't believe what's happening here. I was going to message him this morning, which is kind of irrelevant now because we were talking about it on IFL, but I was just going to say, mate, am I missing something here? Like, why? What are you doing? He's got people going around the Middle East talking to people. Like, there's no interest. Someone said, oh, yeah, well, maybe a Canelo fight. Come on. And you've got the biggest fight of your life right in front of you, a 147-pounder who you are saying is small, can't punch, can't do this, for the most amount of money you could ever make and ever dream of. It's baffling. I actually said to Conor Benn yesterday, I said, I reckon Chris Eubank is Jr. is the only person that I could sit in that chair here in the office and not talk sense into. I think he's just beyond help in that respect. Like every other fighter, I believe I can explain the situation and just say, mate, like, you have to take this fight. Like, if I'm representing Chris Eubank Jr., and Calla is a, good talker, smart mind, great promoter, he's my mate. He must be going mental because I'd be sitting down with Chris going, like this is if I represented him, and going, mate, what are you doing? You have to sign this fight. Like, what? You're a massive favourite in this fight. You can have a stadium fight, make so much money, and I think you're going to win. And he'd just sit there, It's like, oh, mate. So,
Has Canelo ever mentioned Eubank to you?
No. I don't even know he thinks he knows who he is. I mean,
Definitely got to know who Eubank is.
Canelo would love to fight in England. I've looked at it 100 times. The numbers, you're so far out on the numbers that Canelo Alvarez wants. It's actually impossible. Unless it's can't even be a US name. Unless it's a fight that does big numbers on US pay-per-view. And with all due respect, Canelo against Chris Eubank in the UK is not the one, right? But I don't actually mind the fight. I'm not sure now, but I didn't mind it in the prime because I think Eubank Jr. had a great chin back in the day, but I don't think he does now. But anyway, I wish him all the best. It's just I said to Conor yesterday, because I refuse now to talk about Eubank Jr. in our meetings. Frank's dealing with that anyway. And I just said, mate, I'm not going to talk about it, but Because when I hear the Brook stuff, I go, I think they're up to something there. Because, like, why would you fight Kell Brook over Conor Benn? Like, for half the money. It's just ridiculous. Doesn't make sense, but we shall see.
So, just a quick couple of updates on your latest assault on everyone. Well, just, what's the last one? Kean Davis and obviously...
Not an assault.
Well, it is, because you go public, it's almost like you're publicly going these people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm saying that... And Andy Cruz, yeah.
I have promoted Kean Davis more than anyone has ever promoted him. I don't even represent him. I mean, he should be happy that I'm talking about him all the time. And by the way, I say again, just like I say with Ryan Garcia, fine young man. Kean Davis, really have a lot of time for him. I think he's very entertaining. I think he's a tremendous fighter. But there is absolutely no way in the world that he could beat Andy Cruz. No way. It's like your nemesis. You know, like when you're at school and you might be, I don't know, say you're having like a game of table tennis, right? And there's always that one kid. And every time you play a game with him, you go, he's just got my number. That's Kean Davis against Andy Cruz. And they'll never fight him, unless it's a massive fight. But Kean Davis, who Kean would fight him, because he's a fighter and that's what they do. He tweeted and said, make me an offer after the fight then. I thought, great. And then when I looked 10 minutes later, he deleted it. So he got a phone call and they went, please stop talking about Andy Cruz and we're not fighting him. So just stop, Kean. So he got told off. And I asked him to put the tweet back up, but he didn't do it. We will fight you on ESPN. We will fight you on Headline on DAZN. And we will make the fight next. But you will not fight him. You will fight him, but you will not be allowed. You will not be allowed.
Dalton Smith, Adam Azim, any development or...
This is the most embarrassing thing. I mean, you know, I said the other day on Boxing Social, you know, the fight has been ordered by the British Boxing Board of Control for the British title and by the EBU for the European title. And then I see an article saying Adam Azim says he'll fight Kean Davis at Wembley Stadium on pay-per-view. And I'm like, what's going on here? Something's up. Because I was thinking, like, the only way those two could fight at Wembley Stadium on pay-per-view is, as I said in the interview the other day, if they were on 20 minutes before Taylor Swift. The fight's been ordered. What? You don't have to talk about anyone else. You don't have to talk about Teofimo Lopez, Kean Davis. I saw Harlem Eubank. Why are you mentioning these people? The fight with Dalton Smith has been made. And I keep saying, because I hate the fact that our fighters get messed around because they leave it to the wire all the time. Yeah? And it becomes worse and worse and worse. This is actually really bad advice for Adam Azim as well, because this is going to become really embarrassing the longer you leave it. And they will not fight Dalton Smith. By the way, Dalton Smith fights Jose Zepeda on March 23rd. It is a really, really tough fight, like levels beyond where Adam Azim has boxed in his career. And again, Adam Azim, tremendous fighter, great, like future star of British boxing. They won't risk a fight with Dalton Smith. He's not ready. But they haven't even pulled out yet. And the longer they leave it, like, and this is where people are a little bit inexperienced people who are representing him. Is like, yeah, okay, and they don't really know what to do. What they should do is they should come out and they should go, we've spoke as a team, we've decided not to fight Dalton Smith at this point because we feel like it's too early for Adam Azim. But they won't. They'll go, oh no, what it is, we got this opportunity to fight for the WBO Global International Continental Regional Championship. Against...
Is that an actual belt?
No, against Zanet Slompodov, and, you know, and we're going down the WBO route or something. I was like, just fucking make the fight or get out of the way. Go away. Don't talk about it anymore. Because it's going to be embarrassing. So and I keep asking you merry men, and all the other bods, right? When are you going to ask these people, are you going to fight Adam Azim? Dalton Smith? Are you going to fight?
Are you talking about questions to promoter Ben Shalom?
Yeah.
Right, well, I've asked for an interview with Ben Shalom, which I haven't had a response back from, but yeah, don't say that I haven't been in front of Ben to ask him, to be fair.
Or Adam, or Shane, or whoever it is, and say, can we just clear this up now? Are you going to fight Dalton Smith next? Or are you going to pull out? I'd love to see the response.
Well, at some point, these questions are going to be fired to the team.
Funny, right? How can they not do an interview with you?
Well, I texted Ben a few days ago for an interview, but I didn't get a response. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's busy. I don't know. But at some point, I will be in front of Ben. So there's no reason why me or any other platform wouldn't ask him that.
You will go. I have to ask you: is Adam Azim going to pull out of the fight with Dalton Smith? Well, we all sit down as a team and we will make the decisions. Adam wants to be on the biggest platform. Adam wants to be on the biggest platform. So, but no. Listen to what I'm saying. We'll do the fight on Sky. No problem. Right? It's a 50-50 purse split. Just pay Dalton the same as Adam Azim or whatever, and I'll top it up. It's not a problem. But don't use that as an excuse. You can put it on the biggest platform out there, because that's only where Adam Azim boxes. But yeah, we want to work with all promoters in the best interest of the sport. Secondly, we've got a lot of options on the table at the moment. No, you haven't. You've been ordered to fight Dalton Smith. By the way, great for Dalton Smith, because he's got to take care of Jose Zepeda. But when Adam Azim pulls out the fight with Dalton Smith, all the promo that Adam Azim is getting, they're basically saying he's not good enough or ready to fight Dalton Smith. What does that make Dalton Smith? If Adam Azim is this massive superstar ready to take on the world. Dalton Smith is a superstar ready to take on the world, especially if he beats Jose Zepeda. Anyway, love Adam Azim, love the McGuigans, stop fucking around, pull out the fight. That's it.
Okay, 1 week tomorrow. Oh. Are you shitting yourself, seriously?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited. Listen, I think...
you see how hard he was hitting that video?
Yeah, I did.
Right, there was a flaw in this. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So he said he will pay $10,000 or whatever. Did he?
Who?
Ngannou.
Beat that.
Yeah, but the top score on that is 999. Right. Yeah, I might be wrong here, but how's anyone going to beat it anyway?
That's as high as it goes.
That's as far as it goes.
That's why I bet 10 grand. So, am I nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. I was nervous about the Otto Wilding fight. But this guy's a little bit different because he's unpredictable. I know we've got 10 rounds of footage now, but he's massive, isn't he? He's massive. And he hits very hard and he's very strong. But I still stand by AJ should be much too good for him. Should break him down, should beat him up. But there is part of you, like in the Street Fighter, like when he gets hit and he goes, and then keeps coming forward. You don't know, because Fury never hurt him. So when AJ hits him clean on the chin, maybe it just bounces off him. Or maybe he gets knocked spark out. But it's King Kong against Godzilla. It's two immovable objects. And when they come together at the weigh-in, and you see them standing next to each other, it's going to be massive next Friday. Great card. Can't wait. I can't wait for the event.
I just want to pick up on some comments that Joshua actually made with an interview with Sky Sports. When they were asking him about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. He said, I've signed to fight Tyson before. I've signed to fight Deontay Wilder. I've signed to fight a lot of people. I don't duck a challenge. I'm always up for it. I'll always be here and ready to fight any time. He's going to get a lot of questions next week in relation to Tyson Fury, I'm assuming. But
What he said is true. He signed a contract to fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, I say he pulled out the fight. I mean, Tyson Fury didn't sign the contract and couldn't fight because he had the arbitration with Deontay Wilder. That's not our fault. AJ signed for that fight. AJ signed to fight Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder lost. I mean, I don't know what else you can do. He's fought everybody that's ever been asked of him. And I just hope he wins next week in style and moves on. And I do believe that if and when he beats Francis Ngannou, I really hope Tyson Fury beats Usyk. I love Usyk and I love Alex and I love those guys, but I want Fury to win that fight. Because if Fury beats Usyk and AJ deals with Ngannou in style, I know His Excellency is just going to turn around and say, my God, like, I know there's a rematch clause later on, but guys, we have the biggest fight in the history of the sport right here on our laps. Let's make the fight. And if not, we'll fight Hrgovic for the IBF title and then fight Tyson Fury or whoever wins that fight. So one of the reasons we took the Ngannou fight is because His Excellency told us that if we win that fight, we will get an opportunity to fight for Undisputed. And that's what we've always wanted.
Is Fury expected to be there next week?
I believe so, yeah. I think his brother's fighting on the card as well.
Yeah, Roman Fury's fighting.
Yeah, so.
Okay, and then I suppose once next week's out of the way, it's kind of looking towards May the 18th and... Yeah,
Saudi,
yeah.
June.
Yeah, I remember about Saudi, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously March the 8th and then May the 18th, Fury-Usyk. Quite a few of our boys on there, Joe Caldina, Jai Opataya, etc. And then June the 1st, which is Better Biev Bivol and the 5v5.
Yeah, so, how close are you to, or have you finalised all the fights on the card?
Yeah, me and George have been speaking a couple of times a week. We've got some great matchups lined up. We're going to speak to His Excellency when we get out there early next week, run through the plans. Obviously as well, we don't want to cement fights because there has to be a little bit of, surprise.
Who's it going to be?
Exactly. And I think we'll either announce the weight classes next week or we'll announce the fights next week. But there will be news of the 5v5 next week and there will be a press conference in London either the week after or the week after that with all the fighters coming together to confirm the 5v5 tournament.
It's going to be mad, isn't it?
It's funny because we both want to win really badly. So sometimes we're talking about fights and it'll be like a fight where one of our guys is a massive underdog. And I'm like, they're like, what about that? I'm like, no. And then I might say, what about Andy Cruz against one of your lightweights? No. So we need to just make sure that obviously we want every fight to be a 50-50 matchup. And I want to be screaming and shouting at ringside for every single fight. We're desperate to win, both of us. And I believe it's Frank Warren's birthday today.
It's yesterday, actually.
Oh, was it? Oh, right, okay. Happy birthday, Frank. Look forward to seeing them all next week.
Sing it, really, shouldn't you, really? It's Frank. No, you mate, just sing it, really. Just happy birthday. It's not like...
I'll sing it in Riyadh. Have a nice bit of dinner.
Taylor Cattrall, sold out. Should have gone bigger.
Listen, I mean, as if Sam Jones wasn't annoying enough. I mean, I told you. I always believed it would sell out Leeds. Not that
What
quick.
was your reservations about it, then?
The fight?
The rematch about, yeah.
No, look, this is the situation. So, this is a situation. They're both making a lot of money from the fight, right? The kind of money that would suggest this is a pay-per-view fight. With all the pay-per-views that are happening at the moment, DAZN felt that this fight should be part of your subscription on their platform. Don't forget, we're not looking to do loads of pay-per-views. We want the pay-per-view nights as part of your subscription, giving subscribers unrivaled value for money. The problem is, it's very expensive. Purses continue to rise. The Saudi invasion means that, these fighters want to fight out there. They know what he's getting. So, I didn't think we could get it done on DAZN. I said to Sam Jones, go out there and talk to other broadcasters, get offers, find out who wants to do it. Anyway, they all come back, multiple offers. The well-publicised one was Sky. Sky said, boxer Ben Shalom, Chase Sam Jones, we'll do it on pay-per-view, and Sam, we agreed, contractually had to come back to us, let us know the offers, and then I'll put it to DAZN. So Sam had to tell us the offer from Boxer, and I went back to DAZN and I said, look, Sky want to do this on pay-per-view, so do other platforms. I think it would be a tremendous statement if you put this fight on non-pay-per-view on DAZN. The build-up's going to be brilliant. You've already got the best fights in boxing. You've got Fury-Usyk, you've got Aj-Ngannou, you've got Haney against Garcia. Now you might have Canelo Alvarez back. If you can add something like Taylor Catterall as part of your subscription, I think it would be a great look for fight fans. And thank you very much. Big respect to them. They said, I think you're right. We'll pay the money and we'll do it non-pay-per-view. I thought, wow, that's fantastic. I might be popular for 24 hours. Then, Josh Taylor didn't want to do the fight in Manchester. Jack Catterall didn't want to do the fight in Glasgow. We went to the biggest available stadium, which was Leeds, holds 11,000. And we sold out in a couple of hours. Unbelievable. I mean, we nailed it. The fighters nailed it. Our social nailed it. DAZN nailed it. The press tour nailed it. The promotion was flawless. And it just goes to show you how successful the sport can be when you get the matchups right. So April 27th, in a sold-out Leeds arena, live on DAZN as part of your subscription, we've got an all-British classic.
Build-up was very good. Reminded me of the Quigg Frampton build-up, Hay Bellew-esque. Yeah, and I know I always moan at you about the UK pay-per-view thing, but very happy that this isn't on now.
I mean, yeah. Actually, that's a good point, That's a good point. Because you keep teasing me, going, oh, when are you going to do a UK pay-per-view? When are you going to do a UK pay-per-view? If that fight was on pay-per-view, you wouldn't have even moaned. And you would have gone, oh, well done. Eddie's done a UK pay-per-view. But rather than charging additional money, DAZN have paid up the money as part of your subscription. And now it's like, haven't done a pay-per-view. I can't win.
You know what I mean. I think regardless of what, you know what I mean.
You will get a UK pay-per-view, I believe, before the end of June. Okay. There you go. But you've also got Aj-Ngannou pay-per-view. You've got Haney Garcia, which should be free for UK, subject to DAZN's decision. You've got Fury-Usyk, DAZN pay-per-view. So, fantastic that Taylor Catterall, and by the way, Smith Cepeda, brilliant card March 23rd. Gill against Barrett, great card April 13th. Mix that in with the other schedule as well, and we're flying. We just need to nail a nice big UK fight for May and June, and then we'll be...
What we're looking at, Ed? Any teasers out there? Yeah.
We look at Katie Taylor against Chantel Cameron.
Yeah, any update on that?
Ireland. We're talking to both teams, trying to work the money out. Lee Wood, Josh Warrington. I'm seeing Josh Warrington tomorrow.
Yeah, now you're talking. These kind of fights. And it's not necessarily about pay-per-view, but these kind of fights. Yeah. Now we're talking.
It just shows you when you get it right, like Taylor Catterall, it works.
What's your plans for the rest of the day, Edward?
I was very jet lagged last night. Didn't sleep very well. I had a big session this morning. Back and arms. And then I'm just done this. I'm going to tidy up the barnet and the beard. I've got meetings at 2 o'clock. I've got interviews at 3:30. Parsons is doing my nutting for a chat.
Charlie Wow Parsons.
Yeah. And then I'm just trying to sort my travel out for the next few days. And I'd like to go to Ray Ford's fight in Turning Stone. But, obviously, we're here. Riyadh's here. And New York's all the way over here. So it's but I would love to make it. So I'm trying to make it work. Look forward to giving you a great show next week. And don't forget, tune in as well for the snooker in Riyadh.
I can't stop looking at that picture. You're not fatter there, aren't you? Especially...
Yeah, I was heavy there. Actually, that was a great restaurant, that was. It was, I think it was in Resorts World. I was heavier because I think I drank about a bottle of wine and 4 massive steaks, but, you know.
Right, I need some words of encouragement from you for a friend of mine, if that's okay. So my friend, Billy Lee, who's known as Puds Billy, so he's going to, on the verge of becoming the first ever traveller to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Really? He's under Dan Bazzotta, shout out Dan Bazzotta from TSG and Hoist Gracie. But yeah, the first ever traveller to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. I mean, I know jiu-jitsu is really your forte because you used to do it and that, so what would you say in words of encouragement?
To Billy? Yeah, I mean, I would say to Billy, obviously, coming from the mixed martial arts world, we all know how difficult it is to finally secure the black belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, I was a previous jiu-jitsuer and...
what?
Jiu-jitsuer. That's what we call it.
I don't know.
People will think there's no such word as jiu-jitsuer, but within the industry, that is the term. And I was also big in the samurai stuff as well. So, Billy, congratulations. Groundbreaking. I hope you get it over the line. And the only other thing I can say to you from the jiu-jitsuing world is namaste, which has got absolutely nothing to do with jiu-jitsu either. I will say something about jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is one of the purest forms. I actually prefer Brazilian jiu-jitsu, if I'm honest with you. That was what I studied. But I think that is more, I think that's a purer form, a purer art of jiu-jitsu. You'll have to ask Billy if he's Brazilian jiu-jitsu or traditional jiu-jitsu. To be honest with you, I find that the Brazilian jiu-jitsuers are actually better as all-round fighters in MMA. Brazilian jiu-jitsu is one of the best qualities for an MMA fighter to have.
That part might be actually true.
That is actually true. Okay. Well, it's all true.
Okay, of course, yes.
To become one of the best jiu-jitsuers, you have to have the all-round, schooling of jiu-jitsu schools. And one of my biggest problems was I focused too much on the Brazilian side. And unfortunately, I actually got stuck at brown belt. So Billy, go one better than me, son.
You could have just said good luck. I've got one more Canelo question. Do you know, like I asked you about Eubank, whether Canelo's mentioned about it? I've seen Jake Paul's called Canelo out again. Has he ever spoke to you about that fight? Because I get a feeling he probably has.
Canelo?
Yeah.
I think he'd find it quite amusing. I'd like to see it. But I think he's got a few serious things to take care of first. But I wouldn't, if the deal's right for Saul, I wouldn't rule it out, going like him just turning up and having a laugh with it. Oh, I'd love that.
How many buys does Canelo and Jake Paul do?
I just feel like Jake just needs to fight someone in the top 1,000 in the world or something like that, and then I will say I watched Jake on the pads.
He's fighting this week, isn't he?
Yeah. I know, obviously people can look good on the pads, but I think he's quite heavy-handed, and he has been boxing for a while now. So I do give him props for working hard in the gym. Obviously, the Canelo fight is a step too far, but if he actually had a couple of, he just needs to fight someone like a real fighter. And I think he could beat someone, but look, who knows in this crazy world?
Imagine what you said about Ngannou before the Fury's fight, and look where we are now, son.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Edward, we will look forward to next week. It's going to be Rowdy and Saudi.
See you in Riyadh.
Did you call that a show, Rowdy and Saudi? No. That was a show of yours, wasn't it?
No.
Make that up.
Clash on the Dunes.
Clash of the Dunes. Edward, thank you very much. I just want to sign us off and tell the people.
Guys, I would just like to say this. We are coming up to the end of February. We're nearly in March. That means we're not far away from a quarter of the way through your 2024. Don't wait, don't stutter, don't leave it till tomorrow. Get cracking in 2024. Exercise, get in the gym, eat well, work hard, enjoy yourself, put a smile on your face, wake up with a passion every single day. And more importantly, tune in to Knockout Chaos in Riyadh next week. We'll see you there.
Lovely.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.